Live streaming is on.
So Christelle will be the one presenting the book Mastering the Rockefeller Habit by Verne Harnish. Without any further ado, I think Christelle, you have the floor. Thank you.
Okay. Can you all hear me?
Yeah,
Yes,
but you
there's
have an
echo.
echo.
Yeah. I'm putting it down. I think I will have to put this one all the way down. Okay. Oh, I don't know where that is coming
Maybe Steve has the same connection. Sorry, still
from. Let
mute.
me see. No, it's not him. Let me see. Try to mute. Is it better?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pass out. 1 second. Go back to the Jitsi. Okay. Um.
Hmm?
Hello.
Yes, hello.
Okay. Let me share my screen again. I'm sorry, everyone. Let me go back to sharing. That's not what I want. This is what I want. Share. All right. Um. Do y'all see my screen?
It's dark.
Yeah.
Okay. It's yes, we see it.
Why wouldn't it take the whole
No.
thing? It's weird. Okay. I think we're good. So today I am presenting. Thank you, Fred Thomas, first of all, for the introduction. Today we're gonna be talking about mastering the Rockefeller habits, written by Verne Harnish. It says what you must do to increase the value of your growing firm. Little bit about the author, Verne Harnish. He is a founder of an entrepreneur organization, a global network of 18,000 plus entrepreneurs. He's a CEO of Scaling Up, um, a coach and executive education at an education. He's an executive education at an education firm. He's a coach. He's a leading thinker on business growth, leadership, and scaling companies. When we talk about scaling companies, what do you do to go from level one to level two? Making the business work better. Okay. So books that he has written, this one in 2022 is on a practical framework for fast growing companies and scale up, how a few companies make it and why the rest don't. In 2014, expanded and modernized Rockefeller habits with more tools. And he also, in 2022, scale up compensation, a guide on building a pay structure that dive performance. His core value is growth of companies, need focus, alignment, and discipline. Um, Leading should be simple. He like to lead with simplified strategy. Um, Tools that everyone in a company can follow. Scaling success depend on mastering people, strategy, execution, and cash. I don't know what happened. I'm sorry. Uh-huh. Okay. Hmm. Okay. I have more than. Okay,
It
teaching
look like there's
strategies. I
an
know I have.
arrow in the.
Let me see. Hmm. Let me exit this format, maybe. Okay, I'm just gonna go over with this format here, if you let me. Hmm. I'm sorry, my words won't go to the next page. I'm not sure what's going on here.
It's okay.
Let me S out and see if I can share that again. Okay, I don't have it. Hmm. Okay, let me try sharing that again. Okay, maybe I need to be here.
Or you can quickly print it out as a PDF and show it.
Uh-huh. Okay. I think it's a little bit better. Let me try again.
Yeah, probably if you decrease the size,
Uh-huh.
it'll be easier.
Okay. Okay, so I think I'm back on in business now. Because his ideas, sorry about that, guys. Because his ideas are all based on John D. Rockefeller, I wanted to give us a little bit of background regarding him. He was born in 1839 in the New York area. His um, career, he's a founded Standard Oil industry in 1870, which control over 90% of U.S. oil and refining. As it peaks, wealth became the richest man in modern history, um, adjusted for inflation. Business strategy, ruthlessly effect, effect, efficient and detail oriented. That is his business strategy. He focused on cost cutting, reinvesting, and scaling. Known for building system and a habit that made his empire sustainable. His philanthropy, he donated over 500 million. Mm. He founded a University of Chicago, a Rockefeller Foundation, a medical research. His legacy is remembered both for his ruthlessness, monopolies, and a vision of philanthropist. That's a little bit about John D. Rockefeller, legacy and life. Of course, he's dead now, but he's when you hear Rockefeller, you know his stuff still stands. He makes sure that his name goes on forever because of how much he has given to the society. Um, and I'm not gonna talk about him anymore. Anyway, his family, his descendants remain influenced in financial and political philanthropy and education. his habit, a business manager management system from Mastering the Rockefeller Habits by Verne Harnish, which outlined practical discipline for scaling company. It focuses on things like setting priority, using metric, and having a stronger meaning rhythm. So today I'm gonna talk about the 10 there's a 10 habits or 10 discipline for scaling up a company that Verne talk about. And I'm gonna briefly touch on this. First one is priority. Everyone in the organization must be aligned on the top 5 goals of the year and the number one focus for the quarter. So you have something for a year, but you have a quarterly is done in a quarterly base structure in a quarterly base data collect and review key metrics data um, daily, weekly, so leaders always know how the company is doing. He talked about rhythm, establish a meeting rhythm, daily huddle, weekly meeting, quarterly planning, annually strategy section to keep communication clear. Number 4, right people in right seat. Hire and retain a player who fits the culture. Number 5, process and discipline. Document habits and repeat them until they become part of the company's DNA. So the core value is really simple habit, apply consistently, and scale business and live just like a Rockefeller scale standard oil. So that's what we're going to be covering. So now I'm going to switch, if you guys don't mind, 1 second to my PowerPoint. Um, I know my screen may be a little bit blurred, but I will try my best. Okay. So the Rockefeller habit is a set of growth habits embraced by fast growth companies. It does explain 10 habits that is founded in the book that we read this week. The name Rockefeller was attached to the authors to this habit because they are habit which were embraced by the Standard Oil founder John D. Rockefeller as he grew his business. Um, let's see. So I really want to emphasize today on I don't know if this thing is okay on the habits of things that we're gonna be talking about. Um, by it says the benefits of the habits by implementing this framework, every manager, executive, and entrepreneur can witness important benefits such as better time management, harmony in teams, improve internal communication, increase customer satisfaction, fast execution of strategy, increase goal completion rate, increase employment engagement, and overall growth of the company. Okay, number 1 is executive team healthy alignment. It talked about the team member understanding each other and the differences, priorities, and style. Because as we all know, when we get to a company, no matter where you work, there are different character, different people. There's different objectives. So having a healthy team that is that everyone is aligned with what is going on with their personality. Sometimes you have to match a personality with a task, and you see, okay, this person does good here. So that's a lot of work also that the company has to do to make sure that you align the a good member with a good task, and also overall the team is matching. So team participates on ongoing executive education. Team is able to engage in constructive debates, and all members feel free to participate, which is very crucial. There's no, okay, I am the manager and you are the executor. Everyone feels like, okay, I'm part of this thing, and can void and express themselves easily. It says it's crucial that your team has a level of trust that allow a healthy debate and constructive conflict, and avoid office politics. No politics when in the office, absolutely not, because that is one probably not the company's objective, and everyone is different on that. And people are not there for that, so try to avoid politics altogether. Number two, everyone is aligned with number one thing that needs to be accomplished and move the company forward. It says scaling a company takes time. It's all about taking a step forward, checking in, adjusting accordingly. And this only happens if there is a regular check in and goals. So I guess they talked there in throughout the book. He talked about a lot about small meetings that can even happen throughout the day, and you are not sitting to do this meeting. You are standing. So it's just a quick checkup. Where is everyone with what they're doing, and just a quick checkup throughout the day is very effective. And sticking to the main priority. There's number one priority that everyone's action is working towards. Communication. Number three is communication rhythm. Is established and information moves through the organization accurately and quickly. It says to move faster, pulse faster. It says all employee do daily hurdle, less than 15 minutes. All teams have a weekly meeting, quarterly and annual, um, quarterly and sorry, I'm having a,
Quarterly and annually.
yeah, 1 second. Yes, an annual meeting. Thank you. So really communicating throughout the company quickly and accurately. And then every facet, number four, every facet of the organization has a person assigned with accountability for ensuring goals are met. So making sure that there's accountability, there's responsibility, and there's accountability, and everyone has something to do. Even if you are working together as a team, you all have something to accomplish, and give report on. Um, so it says the function of accountability is completed with the right people doing the right thing. Again, making sure that you have the right people in your team. Financial statement have a person assigned to each line item, and every 3 to 5 years, key trust capability has corresponding experts and advisor on board if internal expertise does not exist. And down here it says if more than one person is accountable, then no one is accountable. That is what that's and that is when things fall so through the cracks. So just make sure that you don't put two people with one thing, because you won't say, okay, why is this not done, and who is this supposed to be um, assigned to. So you have to be very clear in your designation assignment, and make sure that you have people clearly assigned onto things, who does what. And I have particular experience in this because when I worked a little bit management, everyone expects that everyone is doing everything until there's a expectation and there's a clear assignment and designation that assigning things. Everyone assume everyone is already doing it. So I did experience that. Ongoing employee input is collected to identify obstacle. It says data, both measurable and immeasurable data, will feel will fluid clear decision making. So making sure that you have your data, and you know you are making sure that those data, whether they are measurable or immeasurable, they help make a clear decision in the company. And number six, reporting and analyzing customer feedback. Customer are the next biggest source of data that can be used to guide growth in the organization. So when we get those calls, I know I'm sure every company does have a way to review how people think about the system. At our end is when we have a loved one that is, someone that is passed, or a loved one's family, or someone that is passed. We do send a survey out. Those come back to us, and those are huge data that can help you, help you scale up your company. So those are great information, and every company has it. Utilizing those data into your advantage is crucial for the growth of your company. It says core values and purpose are aligned in the organization. Our purpose needs to be more than just making money. Core values are discovered, purpose and is articulated. It is literally what your company, when someone dream, maybe it just describe exactly what your company is and what they stand for. So I think a lot of company, they do put a lot of work into the core value, and make sure that every staff that they have is very much well aware of what they stand up for. And sometimes even each core value has its meaning. And the company that I worked at, they are very key on that. Every meeting that we have, they do give prize out for those you know who have done something in the company, maybe whether it's quarterly, to stand up for those values with our patient one way or the other. So promoting that within the staff member, making sure you have a very clear and understandable core value. The simpler, according to this book, it is, the better. Number eight, employee can articulate the key components of the company strategy accordingly. It says, if everyone on your team cannot share your firm's elevator pitch when asked, then you might need to work on your team alignment. So everyone have to be on board. Everyone has to be working toward the priority number one. Number nine, all employee can answer quantitatively whether they has a good day or a good week. If they cannot, then it might mean that they are not clear on the priority and on the KPI. Um, So clearly defining thing, each team member has 3 to 4 quarterly priority um, that aligns with the company. Executive and middle management can have coach holding them accountable for to behavior changes. So everyone is accountable, even the executive and the personnel. And the KPI is key performance indicator, and I know they do use that on an annually some company to evaluate the staff member. If that's something that your company does, they do use that. Number 10 is the company's plan and performance are visible to everyone. It's not only in the talking, it's not only in what you, the paper that you give to your staff, but is visible, action. People can feel it, you know. Um, it says that this habit typically boil down to having a scoreboard everywhere. We encourage you have a goal, metric, and plan up around the company for everyone to see and track, offer, and remain engaged with. So people do things a lot to make staff see the value of what they do. So it's just not in the writing, but it's also visible to people's action. Um, and implementing the Rockefeller habit. While the habits are listed in no particular order, you can start with whichever you want. Um, we give our client one rule. They must start with Rockefeller. Number one, the executive team is healthy and aligned. When your team is healthy and aligned, think that is kind of the foundation, and everything built on top is good. But if you don't have a healthy and aligned team, if you don't have the right people doing the right thing, it's difficult. We read a book in the past that talked about having the good people on the bus. So this is a similar idea. Um, so it says it's nearly impossible to implement any of other Rockefeller without checking off number one first. Just like I just said, start with the habit that will have the most immediate benefit over the next 24 to 36 months. You will be able to get through all the 10 habits. So with that, I'm going to end because it's almost 30 minutes into our call today. And yeah, thank you all for listening.
Thank you, Tata Chriselle. Uh, thank you for the presentation, and I would like to open the floor. And due to the time, the remaining time, I will, I hope we all are gonna stay in 3 minutes. I think Chriselle covered most of the things, especially for the people who didn't get a chance to read the whole book. So let's stay with the 3 minutes, and if we have any time left, then we can come back. Okay. Thank you, and the floor is open. Thank you again, Chriselle.
No problem. My pleasure.
So who want to go first?
I'll go quickly.
Yeah.
Thank you, Crystal.
No problem.
Yeah, that was very detailed presentation, well spoken, and then like the stress level with everything with anxiety was controlled well. Like when you mentioned just one thing, I just wanted to like add to what you were saying, especially politics at work. Like it's a no, 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 no. 4 people just got fired in Trader Joe's because of politics. One person is for Trump and the other person is against Trump. And then when they sat in the break room and they started to go about it, and one person when they talked to HR, even though all of them was part of it, and 4 of them Trader Joe's let them go. These are hard workers. These are good people. These are people who show up to work every day and do the work. And especially 2 of the people have like kids and going to start over. So it just think like the rules are there, especially when it comes to politics and harassment at work. Those 2 things they don't take easily. So thank you, and the presentation was great.
Thank you,
Welcome.
Thank you.
Roger.
Thank you.
Mm.
Nice to hear you. So if anyone want to jump in, and the floor is open.
Let me go in quickly.
Let me go.
In 1 minute.
Go
Uh,
ahead.
where I just want to thank Christelle for the great presentation. In fact, no comment for me. This book reminded me a book we read before, The 4 Discipline of Execution, that I usually use at work. Uh, so I know how hard it is to get the team aligned with the goal. You know, there are a lot of
Okay.
task,
Mhm.
right? There are a lot of tasks that has to be done, but the goal is may not be the task that they have to do, right? So getting aligned with get the team aligned with one goal is very challenging. So that's why it's really good to have the right people in your team, people who wants to move forward and understand why those goals are important. So yeah, thank you so much for the presentation.
Thank you. That's the second person who stay below 3 minutes. Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you.
I think Beyond put the note because he has some school assignment. He's not able
Mhm.
to join today.
Okay.
I think Nasif was ready to. Right? When-
Yeah.
Bye,
Yeah.
Nasir.
Thank you a lot for this presentation. The book is kind of invitation for anyone who want to succeed. We might think that is only for company, but you can apply. You remind us a lot about Tracy Brand, talking about goals.
Mhm.
And when you don't write it down, you don't achieve it. Or maybe when you get
Yeah,
there, you don't even
that
know
is
that
true.
you reach there. So it's definitely good things. My concern is a little bit about the meeting. It's a daily meeting, weekly meeting, and monthly meeting. Sometimes this the staff they use the meeting to kill times. So they drag the meeting that might be 5 minutes, they might drag it to 40 minutes just to kill time. So I'm a little bit anxious about that one. And also the continuous improvement is very good because if you improve yourself 1% a day within 1 year, you are more than 365% over where you started. So it's very good that idea. But my other concern is the fact that he's talking about meeting and all these things. But I feel like it might be for small and medium-sized company. If it is a big company that you have 400 employees or 600 employees, how can you meet all of them? Maybe a department then is what I'm thinking. Otherwise, the book is very, very good. If we could go back and implement it as a reference book, that would be good for everyone here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So you spend 1 minute 50. So great. Who like to try next? I'm playing Beyond today. Giovanni, I think we have Steve, we have Charlie, we have Thomas, we have Shired. But just a reminder, we don't have to talk every day, right? So if anyone don't have anything, also it will be good.
Hey, hey guys, good evening. I'm still at work, but I'm gonna go quickly. Can you guys hear me?
Okay, thank
Yeah.
you.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So we all, I think we all, being
Good.
part of this book club, we all, even if at the beginning we didn't have any entrepreneurship mindset, we all have now a little bit of entrepreneur mindset right now. So I think everyone wanna, I mean, being part of this book club wanna be like, being, the boss. I mean, being a boss of, being like, being a owner of an a company or whatever, open a business. Or basically, it's the book is good because it's showing us a little bit how these these people that have been doing a lot of entrepreneurship stuff, and that have been successful for so many years, that is showing us what are some of the techniques that they use to really be productive, and really, really start from from zero to hero, basically. So it's showing us a lot of good stuff. How, you know being the boss, how you have to be open with your employee, how you have to create a very good environment, like, very good vibe environment, an environment with a good vibe, work environment where everybody is free to feel good, and is ready to do the job, and be be productive, stuff like that. So I really, and how, as an entrepreneur, how you have to make sure you have good people in the team. It's just talking about, entrepreneurship stuff, and how you can put all those uh, all those parameters together, if you wanna have a very good, work environment, and be productive, and much more, basically. So thank you again for the presentation, Christelle, and thanks everyone. Yeah, like I said, I'm still at work, and yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Steve.
Chris.
Yeah, on time.
All right. Brother Sheila.
Oh, like I say, it's like we all know we don't all have to talk, right? If you
Right.
can pass if you don't have
Am I
anything to
here?
say.
Am I clear?
And
Yes.
if you guys allow me, I want to ask a question quickly. The question is addressed to Freya Arun, and but everyone can answer, right? You said, if you improve yourself every day 1%, after a year, right, you're already 365% of where you started, right? How do you know? My question is, how do you know you're getting improved daily? How do you know that? How do you quantify that? How do you know yourself? How do you know?
And you know your goal.
Can I answer that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, go
So,
ahead.
the first important thing is that in the day by day moments,
Sheila, get
you.
closer to your microphone.
I'm not sure how to. Let me change the sensitivity on it real quick. Am I clear?
A little bit better.
Okay. So, in the day by day, you won't know, right? So I think what's important is setting those goals, because those goals give you a marker, right? A measurement, right? Because if you don't set the goals, you have no measurement for how much progress you have made, right? And it's just important to compare yourself of the present to the you of the past, right? And something equally important to do is compare yourself to someone who has no experience in whatever thing you're trying to do. And then you will see how far you've truly gotten, right? there's a I forgot what the effect is called, but there's this trend where experts in a field greatly overestimate how much the average person knows about their field, right? So try to figure out how much the average person knows about your field, and then you will realize how far you have come because you used to be that person who knew nothing about what you're working on, right? So that's my answer to the question. I don't really have a lot anymore to say. I hope everyone has a good night and thank you.
Thank you, Sharon. Thank you.
Thank you, Shirai. I don't know, Shali or Nasif want to elaborate on that question?
Thank
Colon?
you, thank you, Lord. That's that question. I thought that when he was asking the question, I thought that he wanted to tell me that my percentage was wrong because when I say it on the yeah, to be honest, when I was talking, when you are talking, sometimes you might do some mistake and you don't go back and correct it just to let it go like that. Because 1% a day for 365, I just opened my Excel file here, is more than three. No, it's more than 1,000%. More than because I'm yeah, it's more than 1,000. I would say 2,000 improvement. Now he's asking how he can know that he's on the right path. You know that you are on the right path when you have a goal and you are measuring. That's why he said that you have to take measurement. You have to take metric whether you are on the right path. Because if you don't know where you are going, or if you don't know, let's say that you are traveling and you know that you are going to Arizona, but you don't have you don't even know that you are going to Arizona. You might end up to California thinking that you are already in Arizona, like Christopher Colombo did because he didn't have a right campus. How do you say it? He didn't have the right navigation tool, thinking that he was going to India. So that can happen. So you have your goal and you take a measurement, then you will know that you are going to the right path. Thank you.
Thank you, Nasif.
So what I would say for Steve is the goal. From your goal you can measure. Like if I say a weight loss goal, right? So if every day you work out, you eat right, and you are losing 1%, is that 1%, I would say, of that goal, you know you can measure it, from day one to by the end of the year. You can measure how much you lose, right? You are not going back, you are not stationary. Every day you lose that little from that pound. So that one is kind of visible and you can measure. So that's why when we are setting our goals, we have to make them smart goal, right? They have to be measurable, attainable,
Time.
and so
Time.
as time goes by, we kind of collect data to see if we are going forward or not.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you, Teacher Colin.
So maybe I will say a few. Shali, we cannot hear you. Go ahead. We cannot hear your voice.
We can hear you.
We can,
Mm.
see you talk.
Now,
So,
We
and
can hear you.
can you
yeah,
hear me
now,
now?
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Oh, okay. So all the time, everything that I was saying, nobody was
We
hearing.
were
I
not
I view that
hearing.
I unmute my mic now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, because there was noise around me, I muted my mic and forgot about it. Yeah. So thank you, Christelle, for this wonderful presentation, and I really appreciate the detail that you put in it, and it is the summary that I was looking for. Now, coming back to the book, wow, is when I read it, it held my breath, and I look at the goal that I was I'm having, and it shows me the work to do to get there. But by the time I got to the end of it and realized that he emphasized a lot on the when you have the priority, with the priority, it tells you the objective, the end goal. And he said clearly, when you have that priority and you define it clearly, it helps you know where you want to get to. But every goal that you have in a company, it the way it is defined, you just know the end goal and you know where you are. Everything in between is flexible and you can't know it.
Oh,
And
wow.
what, yeah, everything in between is flexible. You can't know it. And if you do your best to get everyone aligned, and he emphasized a lot on that, get everyone aligned and be ready to be taken out those who are not aligned. It will give you sometimes a feeling of losing or setting back, but the quickest you get those who are not aligned with the goal, the clearer your path is getting to get to the end goal. That is one. And what I wanted to say by saying that by the time I got to the end of the book, I realized that he emphasized now on learning to delegate. If you learn to delegate very well and then make sure that everyone is aligned, you will get to your goal. And that is what shows me that at the end of the day, knowing what you can do to make a company from let's say $1 million company to multi-million, 100, 200, 500, or $1 billion is that it doesn't mean that you have to do it yourself necessarily, but you should know how you can delegate it and then get people aligned with your goal to get you there will eventually get you there. Give me a little bit of relief. Otherwise, I realize that it looks like an unattainable goal, but you shouldn't think about doing it just by yourself. That is why it is called an organization, not a one-man show. So thank you again. I really enjoyed the book. It's a very good reference book, not only for company, not only for entrepreneurship, but even for personal organization and reaching one's goal. Thank you, guys.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
I want to add something
Thank you, Paul.
to
Mhm.
what you say by delegation. You know, when you delegate, you have to follow up and make sure whatever you delegate is done as you ask for. That's the only way it gets done. But if you don't follow up,
Definitely.
people are not going to do exactly
Yeah.
what they ask.
Yeah. That is where one of the key point accountability. You have
Right.
to delegate and clearly define the responsibilities and make people accountable. Very, very important. Thank you, Tata Column, for that comment.
Thank
Okay.
you. It look like everyone you're not here. Giovanni, you want to say a few words?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead. You have the floor.
Hi, everyone.
Hello, Giovanni.
Hello.
um, I can say this book teach how to structure a growing business without losing control, and it's also show how to set clear priority, track the right numbers, and create a good rhythm of communication within the team. And I think the main idea is if we want to scale our business, we need daily discipline, well defined goals, and aligned team. So I'm
Good
finished.
job.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Wow,
We really, really enjoy it. Okay, that's cool.
awesome.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, so just give me. I'd like to answer quickly, or maybe elaborate about the question from Uncle Steve,
Mm,
right? About how do you quantify your self improvement? Like, so when Uncle Nassif say 1% improvement, and if you said like everyone say you have goal, but to reach goal you need to build also new skills, right? New skill, new tools, right? Whatever was true yesterday, 5 years ago, it's not true anymore today, right?
mm,
People will not buy that much calculator anymore. Today is cell phone, flashlight is cell phone, right? So going back to that, the person you were back then, when you acquire new skills, it might be 1% or 2% of improvement, but you become a new person. So the new
mm,
1% improvement that you're going to have is not about the old person anymore, right? It's about the new one. So you're never going to reach 100%. No matter what you learn, you're not going to develop all of your capability in this life, right? Even if your job is to build skill, have goal, reach goal, you have an asymptote. If the people who like math remember, right? You have that limit, and then you stay just below the curve. Nobody will go above that curve, right? By the time you find something, then you'll see that it's more than what you were thinking, and then you just stay below that. So, but the goal is acquire new skill, learn new stuff, and then, like Jim Rohn say, right, what you become is more than what you get. The money, all of the other things you get is the person that you become, and you can feel it yourself also, right? When you want to express yourself, you want to explain, people will know you master your field or whatever it is. And usually people recommend like 10,000 hours on the subject, and that's where you start improving. So that's to answer Steve. But that's my contribution. If anyone remember asymptote, you have an idea about that.
mhm.
Now, coming to the book, I have 1 minute left if it's possible. Thank you very much, Tata Crisel. As usual, you're going to share the presentation with us. I was more interested on the person of Rockefeller than the person who wrote this book, right? Because when we were in middle school, we learned about Rockefeller, we learned about Carnegie back then, back home. Carnegie is
Mm,
for iron, and Rockefeller is for oil. At some point, he owned like almost all of the oil in the US. And sometimes they force you to buy your land from you, to buy the field from you. And they invest also in railroads, so they force you in their own. And long story short, this guy, Rockefeller, when they split his companies, Standard Oil, they split it in 34 different companies. And one of them today is ExxonMobil, Chevron, some of the big oil company, they're from him. It shows, how big the man was and what principle he was
mm,
using. Maybe we don't want to do the part that when like he's kind of a real capitalist, and they want something, they find a way, they get the lawyer, and they buy you out to get it. We don't want that part of it, but we still want
Well,
to be rich.
that's what make him big.
He- no, I'm just commenting to myself, like they want something and you own a big lot, they'll buy everything around you and you don't have access to your lot anymore. And you ended up selling to them at the price that they want, right? What is the usefulness of 200 acre when you cannot have access to it,
mm,
right? That's the way they own and consolidate. So later Congress came and said, no, it's too big for one person, and they start splitting it. So thank you again, Tata Crisel. I think you cover everything that I have. Maybe the one thing I would like to learn or to do from Rockefeller is he never drank alcohol.
mm.
Yeah, he stay away from alcohol, away from tobacco, and no politics at the office.
Yeah, that's the best.
Thank you.
And
And,
you
Thank
thank
you
you
too.
so much. thank you for pulling our idea on Rockefeller. One irony as
Say it
well is
loudly.
oh sorry, my mic was up. Another irony was the fact that he got all this money, and toward the end of his life, he started distributing them, he started donating them as if he doesn't want them really. So even though that he was very, very ruthless and trying to be capitalist, at the end of his life, he was almost like a socialist or like communist by donating almost all his money. So that's the irony as well. Thank you.
Yeah.
Think, yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
I think he was the one who wrote something in under his table. He say, "I will spend the first half of my life to be rich, and I'll spend the second half to distribute it all."
Mm-hmm.
I think he,
That's it.
yeah,
Hmm.
he had something like
Yeah,
that in his
yeah.
drawer. When they after his death, when
Wow.
they pulled it out, it was there as his goal is to be rich, but to not die with it. Something like that.
Hmm.
I thought he was the guy with that Think and Grow Rich.
Napoleon Hill.
No,
No, no, Napoleon Hill
no.
was not that rich.
Napoleon Hill is not rich, rich.
No, he's
Yeah.
not rich,
No,
rich.
this person has 90% of the oil in the US.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
So look at 50 states, and he has all of everywhere he has oil. So I don't know. Anyone want to add something before we start looking at the next week?
No, sir.
Steve?
No,
Yeah,
let's move.
yeah. I mean, I just wanna. It is not. It's really. It's not about a book. I mean, it's just a little. You know, a little. How can I say? Wait, I don't know if if I can advise anyone here, but it's just so everyone know that I'm in tech, right? So we're having a very good convention right now where we're talking about some of these new technologies and AI and all that. So I just wanna bring to each of you guys attention that AI AI is coming heavy. So people are gonna lose a lot of jobs. So manual jobs. So if you can learn something about how to automate whatever you're doing, whatever job you're doing, if you can automate that, however you can learn a little bit of automation, digitalization on what you're doing, try to try to learn something about AI because however you're gonna complain about it, it's gonna come heavy and people will people will feel it. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much. That is a fact.
Thank you, Lord. Thank you. But my advice is also to be
So
more agile
I
and
I
adaptable.
found
Asaf is talking.
go ahead.
No,
Hmm.
Arun is talking. That's what I'm trying to
Go
say.
ahead, Nasif.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I say is a good advice from Steve, but what I could say is to be curious, to be adaptable, to be agile as well. Because as Fred Thomas was saying, he said, "Oh, before we used to have a torchlight, we used to have GPS, but
Calculator.
now is
Mm.
only the telephone that is replacing all this one. So we will be facing those kind of things. So you have to adapt yourself to the new environment. So definitely
Mm.
is a good advice here. Thank you a lot.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah. And one more thing regarding that is true.
So
The adaptability is the key because, but when we look at history, a lot of things come and change the world. But if it comes from this earth, it will be contained by the earth. That is how it has always been. So people should take advantage of it, as you are saying, and readapt and get into the new era is very important. We cannot.
oh yeah, your sound is
It's
very
bad. Let me turn off this.
to the
Yeah.
next
How is it now?
Yeah, Charlie is cutting.
It's cutting.
Yeah, now we can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, I was saying that, as he said, is a very good advice. We have to adapt. We cannot hold on to change. Once it comes, it will take effect. So if we want to live in the new era, we need to readjust, and it's very important that we are aware. And what Fred Thomas said, that at the end, it doesn't matter how much you have or what you own. It's what you have become that matters a lot. So we should focus on personal development. It will always lead us, as you are advising, to the new era without being on the side.
Okay, thank you, Charlie.
Thanks.
Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Yes, we can.
So, I'm looking if I can find this in English, but all I want to, in reference to what Steve says, it looks like we are behind. You see this book, C Intelligence Artificielle. It was written in Benin in 1993.